Salve discipuli. This is the stage 20 flipped lesson on present participles. So for starters, what in the world is a participle? A participle is a verbal adjective. It's a word that started out as a verb and was converted into an adjective. You're going to translate it with an ing. For example, the running man, or the cooking man, or the girl doing math. So in the first example, running is describing man, cooking is describing man, doing is describing the girl. All right, so how do you make present participles? You take the second principal part of the verb, which is the infinitive, and chop off the RE. Keep or make the final vowel long. Add an NS for the nominative singular. Add an NTIS for the genitive singular. From there, you follow the third declension adjective endings. And the participle must match its antecedent, meaning the word that it's modifying, in case, number, and gender. I know I went really fast, but I'll show you a bunch of examples so it'll make more sense in a couple minutes. So we take amo, amara, amawi. These are the first three principal parts. You chop off the RE and then add an NS for the nominative singular, add an NTIS for the genitive singular. What we have here should look very familiar to you. This is a standard entry for a third declension adjective, the nominative singular, the genitive singular. From there on, we just add our third declension adjective endings, just as if it were an adjective. So we started off with a verb, and we end up with an adjective. Some tips for identifying. So when you see it in a sentence, it should jump out to you for a couple of different reasons. First of all, if there's an NT in there right in front of your endings, you know you're looking at a present participle. That NT is a good visual indicator that you're looking at a present participle. Of course, because we're dealing with Latin, there are a couple that don't have that nice visual indicator. So which ones don't have it? Specifically the nominative singular, and this is true of all genders, and that's because it's in the odd box, right, or the squiggly line. If you're dealing with a neuter, then of course the adjective, the accusative is going to be the same as the nominative, so it's also going to be the odd. And then it'll have third declension adjective endings. So if you see something that looks like it should be a verb, but it has this NT in there, and it has what look like third declension adjective endings, you're likely dealing with a present participle. All right, so here we have our paradigms. We've got porto, portara, portari, docera, capera, trahera, and audira. I know I flipped these two around for those of you that are sticklers for details. Okay, so portara becomes portans, portantis. Docera becomes docanes, docentis. Capera becomes capanes, capentis, and so on and so forth. Okay, so again, this one and this one right here, you're looking at your standard third declension adjective dictionary entry. So we bring portans down to here, portantis down to here for our genitive singular. You chop off the ending, the genitive singular ending, and then you add everything onto here for your complete ride out. Now this next screen is going to be a little intimidating. This is in every single form. I tried to give you a couple of visual cues to sort through all of it. I went through and underlined all of the NTs so you can see where your visual cues are that you're dealing with a present participle. And I put the actual endings in red. So these are your standard third declension endings. I know a couple of them have an A, and I'm sorry, not an A, but an I in front of the ending. It's because it's considered an I stem. We have seen these before, even though maybe we haven't actually talked about them before. So go ahead and take some time to study this and look at it, and make sure you familiarize yourself with it. Okay, so now I need you to practice IDing and translating some sentences. Copy down these 5 sentences, underline all the participles, mark its case, number, and gender, put brackets around any prepositional phrases, label all of the subjects, the verbs, and the direct objects. And once you've done that, then go back and draw an arrow from the participle to its antecedent. Go ahead and pause the video and do that right now. Okay, so let's look at the first one together. I put parentheses around the prep phrase in cubiculum. I underlined the word clamans because it is a participle. I know it doesn't have the NT there like I told you, but that's because this is the nominative singular. This is the odd box. So let's go ahead and label them. So astrologus is nominative singular, it's our subject. Erupit is the verb. This participle here, like I said a few seconds ago, is nominative singular. It could be masculine, feminine, or neuter. However, we can figure out that it is actually masculine because it's modifying astrologus. It's the only other thing in the sentence that is nominative singular. And this sentence would read, the astrologer burst into the bedroom shouting. So the astrologer shouting. The shouting astrologer burst into the bedroom is how you could also translate that sentence. All right, so in this one, pueri per urbum currentes patronum conspexerunt. All right, this is a prep phrase. This I know is my present participle. This one has the nice visual indicator of the NT here, and ES is a fantastic third declension adjective ending. All right, so pueri is our subject. It's nominative plural. Currentes could be masculine or feminine, but it's definitely nominative plural. I know it's definitely nominative plural as opposed to accusative plural because patronym over here can only be accusative, forcing this into its other option. Conspexerunt is our verb. So which word is currentes modifying? Of course, it's modifying pueri. Both pueri and currentes are nominative plural masculine. So this sentence will read, the boys running through the city caught sight of Peter. All right, spectatore sacerdotem e templo discedentem viderunt. Go ahead and label everything. Spectatores is our subject because sacerdotem is our direct object. In form, sacerdotes could be nominative or accusative plural, but sacerdotem can only be accusative, which forces spectatores into its other option. A templo is a prep phrase. Discedentem is our present participle. We've got both of our nice visual indicators here. The NT for present, and EM is a third declension adjective ending. So this is accusative singular. It could be masculine or feminine. And viderunt is our verb. So what's the antecedent of discedentem? What else do we have here that is accusative, singular, masculine, or feminine? Of course, it's sacerdotem. And after we've identified that, we could narrow this down as well and realize that this is actually masculine and not feminine. All right, number 4, Galatia juvenes in loco optimo stantes vituperavit. All right, we've got in loco per optimo bracketed off as a prep phrase. Stantes is our present participle because of the NT and the ES, our third declension adjective ending. So Galatia, nominative singular, first declension, so that's our subject. Juvenes, third declension noun, could be nominative or accusative plural, but because this is definitely our subject, that forces this into the direct object position. Vituperavit's our verb. Okay, stantes, ES, that could be nominative or accusative plural. But we've got over here an accusative plural. We figured out that this one's accusative plural, and that's definitely what it's modifying. So Galatia cursed the young men standing in the best spot. So it's the young men standing. Standing is modifying young men. All right, our last one, quintis formerionum umerum barbili delegantem spectabat. Let's go ahead and label everything. Quintus is second declension nominative singular, so it's our subject. Formionum is accusative singular, third declension, it's our direct object. Umerum, second declension, it's also a direct object. So we'll talk about how to deal with this in just a second. Barbilii is second declension, so that accented I there makes it genitive. It's possessive. Delegantem, it's our present participle. We've got our NT here. We've got EM. So this could be this is accusative singular. It could be masculine or feminine. And then spectabat is our verb. All right, so is delegantem modifying formionum or is it modifying umerum? This is one of the cases where you have to do a little bit of translating in order to figure it out. You can only tell by context here. Delegantem means to wrapping. So Quintus was watching the shoulder of Barbilus wrapping formionum, or Quintus was watching formionum wrapping the shoulder of Barbilus. I think the second option simply makes more sense. So delegantem is modifying formionem. I'll say that again in a slightly different way. So Quintus was watching Formio wrapping Barbilus's shoulder. All right, remember, so these are your tips. Make sure you write these down. First and foremost, participles are verbs acting as adjectives. They describe a noun, just like adjectives describe nouns. Participles describe nouns. And just like adjectives, participles need to match their antecedents in case, number, and gender. You will translate them with an ing. Remember, present participles will have, most of the time, an nt right in front of the ending, and the endings will be third declension. Salve discipuli.